This is WAMD Radio, the only station for mice and men. Today is March 2nd for men. Today is April 24th for mice. On tonight's After Action After Hours, as good as Formianly possible. Our correspondent, Ernan Callahan, reports. To the Chief of Staff, we journeyed to the Formians to ask for the reward that they promised us at the counties. At the West River, we saw 2 small turtles and continued without interacting. Further along, we saw 3 frogs at the water's edge, one holding chains and looking like they were fishing. We could see a water elemental at the end of the chain. We ascertained they are from the West River clan, and these ones were immune to bludgeoning and to cold. We sneak past, as before. The Formian camp had the gate torn and no one visible. We sneak around the fence to the south of the camp, and the South River has jagged stones along the bank. There is a huge gap in the palisade with remnants on the riverbank. A thorn bush on the bank, we find 30 to 50 Formians were pierced alive, look over by a waterhead shrike. The shrike is a fearsome predator with very high perception and high reflex. Our party determines it is immune to spells except necromancy and higher level sorcery. We carefully sneak away. We follow a road created by the ants that has some cover from above. As we approach the hill where the hive is, we see a large bunch of insects off the road over a hole of some sort. We go a bit closer and see they are not Formians. They all have wings and some are different sizes. The smaller ones are slaver roaches, while the larger ones are under the mass of small roaches but not easily identifiable. We enter the hive and are treated as guests without any interference. There are larger sized burrows for visitors, but we decide to head towards the royal quarters for a quicker audience. There are less guards further down compared to above, but the hive is still well guarded. A lieutenant approaches us. He has eggs or larvae on his shoulder and a table service on his back, with almost a dozen scroll cases. He is holding a glowing piece of quartz. He says the Queen will honor the deal with us, but due to Seven's mistakes, 7 is soon to become 9 for his transgressions. He asks us to leave as soon as we can. He says he is 8, soon to be 7. We discuss what to do and realize that asking to go higher in the hierarchy is not as offensive to the Formians, but asking to go to a lower rank would cause offense. We ask to go to 7, and he takes us through passageways and through a membranous door. 7 is in a pool of wax being worked on by smaller ants. 3 of his limbs are missing and 1 sword has been broken. We are unsure how he is still alive despite his injuries, but the Formians seem to have more healing capabilities than we do. We ask, can we help the hive? There are many paths that lead to greater service, is the response. 8 butts in and says 7 is speaking more than he should. 7 admonishes him and says, Vox Adversa serves with the Queen, and I serve with Vox Adversa. 7 says the mice make a lot of strong forays, but don't have as much knowledge as the hive. Things working together will benefit both us and the hive. The Adversa believes that our connection can be fostered. One way is perhaps a lieutenant-like independence that can be created through having worker Formians live in the counties as a go-between. He says the elementals and frogs who control them are the greatest threat at the moment. He says that a large elemental was one who had broken down the palisade and killed many of those in the camp. The shrike is another threat they will have to deal with. He says that the roach gods are active, but not a threat. I also know a tool of the Primus when I see one. That one will be taken with ease. We ask about the roaches we saw and about helping with the roaches. 7 says if you were to take one of their prophets, they would be less able to sense us. The head of a prophet would be worth a large amount of gold from him, 15 to 20,000 gold to be specific. We ask for info on the roach prophet, and he mentally sends us all he knows. Level 7 elite spellcaster. The roach pile we found earlier is not the source of a prophet. 7 would be happy if we can help the elemental in the South River, but understands it is a huge threat. I had heard some of Murphy's earlier experiences over the past week, and my experience today makes me think the water elementals might be a key to finding out how to free the southern elemental from the frogs and make it an ally rather than a threat. We ask if there's another Formian to contact if we aren't able to contact 7. He says, saying it is on the authority of Vox Adversa, we would allow any Formian to bring a message to 7 or to her. He says if we have a head of a roach prophet, we can go straight to her. We ask who she is. She is a would-be queen, the opposition of the Primus. She could be seen as 2. From our discussion, it seems like every member of the Hex, which seems like the top 6, is female. We ask about our reward. What is more valuable than currency to our own kind? It is insufficient to travel from the counties to the hive, so he wants us to be able to communicate better. He wants to give us a small group of larvae to live in the counties, but he can't organize it right now because he is injured. The worker ants would be able to bring us materials directly, but if we aren't able to continue working with 7, the queen will instead give us special materials directly. 7 is waiting for royal jelly to help heal, which is still up for debate. He will probably be able to heal very quickly once that happens. My star continues to rise, and I remember those who will rise with me. I appreciate all you have done, says 7. We ask 7 to tell 8 to lead us out, which seems like it is taken as an order, and 8 is friendly with us as we walk to the surface again, but scowls again when we finally start walking away from him. We decide to cross the West River, where the Izarhuls had an outpost. All buildings have been taken down, and at the top of the hill we see a large lizard laying in the sun, of a similar type to Holt's, but bigger. We don't want to wake him, so we continue. At the West River Ferry, we see splotches of mud, which are tracks leading to a mud puddle. A small piece of silver chain is splashing around the puddle, and we determine it is a water elemental. Unsure if it is free or control, and unsure how much time we have to converse before the fall of night, we decide not to talk at the time. Remember, keep your feet on the ground. Ernan. Political turmoil in the hive. 7 has been a known ally, but can we trust him when he says his star continues to rise? Join us next time on After Action, After Hours. Thank you for listening, and remember, all mice die, but not all mice truly live.